Good morning all. Welcome to this webinar of MS Excel. My name is Pradnya Hasabnis and I am working for SNTI. I take Advanced Excel, C, C++, Core Java. So we will start with our today's session. We will be covering pivot table and functions. Today's webinar contains are pivot table and functions. So let us start with pivot table. What are pivot table? Have you heard of pivot table? Can I ask any one of you? I am asking Samihan. Samihan, do you know about pivot tables?
Yeah, actually we use pivot tables in our office.
Okay. So what all we can do with using pivot table?
We basically use it to check our data.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a simple way to calculate across all the geographies. Means we put our geography on our one side and we calculate the whatever data related to the geography and other means it's in a smaller scale. So let's see if we shall be having an advance.
Okay, no problem. We will learn how to create pivot tables. So let us start. What are pivot tables basically? So pivot tables are basically flexible kind of tables in which we can do all types of calculations. We can create our own charts. We can summarize our data. We can analyze our data. So let us read this slide. Pivot tables are one of the Excel's most powerful features. A pivot table allows you to extract the significance data from a large detailed data set. So those who are, any one of you is dealing with large amount of data, if you want to summarize that data, you can use pivot tables. Okay, so to summarize and analyze large amount of data, you can use pivot tables. Now, second point is you can think of pivot table as a report. However, unlike a static report, a pivot table provides an interactive view of your data. Now, what is the meaning of this point? That pivot table is usually used to create the reports and not the static kinds of reports. Static reports are the reports with which you cannot change. Okay, which is difficult to change. But pivot tables are flexible type of reports from which you can remove anything and you can add anything in a seconds. Okay, now next is with a very little effort and no formulas, you can look at the same data from many different perspectives. So if you have a large amount of data with very less efforts, means you don't need to write any calculations, you don't need to write a big formulae for that. You can see your data in from different point of view. Okay, for HR manager, it would you can have a different type of data pivot table, or for someone from finance or accounts, they can view that same data from different point of view. Okay, so what all we can do? We can do sorting, we can do grouping, count, total, average, all these functions which we have, most of you would be aware of. We can use that in pivot table. We can summarize our data, we can analyze our data, and with the help of Slicer. Slicer is from 2010 onwards, Microsoft Excel has added Slicer, timeline, and pivot charts. So you can see your data graphically. Okay, so what all we will be covering in pivot table? We will be covering pivot table fields, pivot table layout, calculated fields, calculated items, insert slicer, insert timeline, pivot charts, and assignments. We will be doing one assignment to see whether we have learned everything properly or not. Okay, so this is all about, this is the theory part of pivot table. Once we do, we learn how to create a pivot table. I will be asking you whether it is useful for you, because the data which I have taken would be different from what you are dealing with. But I have taken one table of orders and one for, I have taken annual sales analysis. So let us go to orders table first. Okay, so how to create the pivot table? So I think writing the table is not that difficult for you. I think you all work in Excel, so I'm not typing it. So how to create the pivot table? Go to select the table, go to insert, go to pivot table, you will see one dialog box, create pivot table. Okay, you will see select a table or range which is already selected, pivot table assign 1, and it is giving me the range. It is little difficult for you to see. I'll read it out for you. B3 to F15, it has already selected. Okay, now next step is, do you want the pivot table to be on the same sheet or on the different sheet? So if you choose new sheet and click OK, pivot table will be created in the new sheet. Right now I want it on the same sheet, so I'm clicking on existing worksheet. Existing worksheet, click on this arrow, click on this cell. So here my pivot table will be created. Okay. Now once you insert a pivot table, you get one structure like this, one area where you have to put your columns as well as values which you want. So on the right hand side, immediately you will see pivot table fields. What we are doing is, on the right hand side, we have all the fields and we have one area where we can see columns, we can see rows, we can see values, and we can see filters. Okay, on the top we can see all the fields. What are the fields here? Order ID, order date, all these are fields. So what we have to do is, when we click on pivot table, we can see order ID, product ID, unit price, quantity, everything. So let us see if I want to see unit price order ID wise. So I click on order ID, immediately order ID is shown to me, and I want quantity. So you can see immediately it is added to values. So whatever you want to show in rows, you can click there, and either you can click here, or if you want, you can drag it and drop it in rows. You can remove it by clicking and placing it outside, dragging it outside. So there are two ways. One is click, but in case of click, it always adds it to rows or columns. But if you want it to be added to rows only or columns only, you have to drag it, drag and drop. So I dragged and dropped in rows. For product ID, drag and drop in rows. Now remember that all the fields which are numeric in value, okay, that has to be placed in values area. So there are basically four areas, sorry: rows, columns, values, and filters. So you can see in my pivot table, I have all the order IDs, and inside that I have the products, because I have chosen product here. If you want product ID wise order ID, you just shift the location. So now product ID wise order ID will be shown to you, and it is showing me sum of unit price. I can also change the name of this. I can remove it and just double click on this label and remove sum of and keep it unit price, or because unit price already exists, you have to give some other name. I am giving unit price without space. So now this is my heading, new heading. Okay, you can also place some things on columns and some things on rows. So what I have done is, I have placed order ID here, product ID in rows, order ID in columns, and unit price in values area. Now what happens if I do like this? So all the order IDs will be shown to me as columns and product as rows, and the combination or intersection of them will be shown to me. For product P14, order ID 10248, this is the unit price. Similarly for others. So it should be in a summarized manner. It should tell me the correct values. Now let us remove unit price and let us learn something more. Now suppose in my pivot table, I want some fields which are not present in my table. So you can see this table. You can see this table. In this, we have unit price and quantity, but we don't have value. Okay, so how to show the value? We can create our own field using calculated field option. So how to do that? What you have to do is select order ID, and I want value which is not there. So you can create your own field by going to analyze. Pivot table has two tabs now. When you click on pivot table, you will get two tabs at the top. When you are in the table, they will be hidden. But when you click on pivot table, you can see two tabs under pivot table options, analyze and design. Now let us go to analyze. In analyze, I want to create a new field which is not present in my table. So how to do that? Calculated field, because I want to create my own field which is not present. Give the name to your field, new field which you want to create, any field. So I want to create value, and I want to create one formula, unit price star quantity. I want the product of unit price and quantity. Sorry. And click on add. As soon as you click on add, value field is added in the fields list. Click on OK. Now this is showing me the value which was not present here. So I instantly created one field which was not present. Again, how to change the name or label? Already exists. Give some other name to it. So this is how I can add a new field which is not present. Okay, we will be doing the assignment, so it will be, there would be a revision. So let us go to the next part. So just now we learned how to create our own field using field items, calculated field. Now next thing we are learning is calculated item, which we will be, for which we will be requiring another table. So let's go to the next table. This is my table. Okay. Now can you see region wise annual sales analysis? We have regions, north, south, west, east. We have departments, marketing, sales, HR, marketing. Yeah, 3 departments, quarter wise sales. Now what if I want the data based on the items stored in the region or department? You will not understand unless I show you one example. Let us do one example. I'm adding one pivot table. How to add a pivot table? Jitendra. Jitendra.
Hello. Yes, please.
How to add the pivot table? Can you tell me?
Just select the things which you want to create as a pivot table.
Yeah.
And just click on the insert.
Correct.
Pivot table.
Correct.
Yeah. And then you may choose the lines which you want to present as a pivot table.
Yeah, it is already selected because selection we have already done. Only thing is we have to select whether new sheet or existing sheet. So let us select existing sheet. Click on this arrow. Click on any cell where you want to create your pivot table. Okay. Now, suppose I want region wise quarters sales. It is showing me region wise sales, region wise, quarter wise. So you can place your data in any way. Okay. What you can do is you can also place your data here, and in the filter, what is the use of filter? We are seeing now that not everything is shown, only limited regions can be seen. For example, for East, it will show me the sales for all the quarters for East region, North region, Okay. If you want to select multiple, east and north, it is showing you east and north. Okay. So filter is used just like a page filter. You don't need to see everything. If the items are more, you can select any one or two of them. Okay. So it's showing me total. Now I was telling you about calculated item, which we will be seeing right now. I'm taking regions in the rows and department. So it is showing me region wise, department wise, quarter sales. Okay. What if I want for northeast region and southwest region? Okay. So calculated item was, a calculated field was when we wanted to create a new field from an existing field. Now I want uh, only few items to be shown in the report. So what to do, how to do that? Click your cursor on any item. For example, northeast. So I'm clicking on east. Go to fields, calculated item. I want to create the formula. I want to give some name to it. I'm giving it northeast. Okay. And now for that, you can see on the right hand side, you can see all the items. So for the from there you can select north plus east. So now you can see that I have not selected the fields, the ready-made fields, but I am selecting the items, the values. Are you getting that? I am not selecting the fields from here, but I am selecting the items, the values which are stored in those items, the fields. So north plus east, click on add, click on OK. You can see that northeast is shown to you. Now what you can do is, because northeast is already shown to you, you can remove north and east from here and you can keep northeast. Similarly, you can create for southwest. So Samihan, I'm asking Samihan. Samihan.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So how to create for southwest? I need your help. How to do that?
We have to select southwest.
Yeah. So how we want
In
to
the
create
field
southwest
items.
region sales. So for that, what are the steps?
Go to field items.
Go to any item. Okay, south, west, east. Okay, so I went to the item. Otherwise, it will not be shown to you. See, it is not shown to you now. When you click on south, west, then only it will be shown to you. So now calculated item. Now
We have to select, give it a name.
now we have to give the name to it. So what name?
Yeah,
Suppose
right.
southwest. Southwest.
Right.
Name you have to give. And formula, what should be the formula?
Just select the south and west.
South
In items
plus
column.
west.
West,
South
right.
plus west. So again, the difference between calculated field and calculated items is, in calculated field we need fields here, but in calculated item we need items here which are shown at the right hand side. So southwest, add. Okay. Again, I have northeast and southwest. I can remove south and west from here. So I'm removing south and west from here. Okay. So now you can see I don't need, if you want in the regions together, you don't want separate, you want together, you can use northeast, southwest, like that. So just now we have learned about calculated field and calculated items. We have done a small part of pivot table. Now, whenever there are any changes in the data, for example, in your table, Q2 sales of North region is changed to some value. Whenever there are any changes, you need to click on analyze, refresh. Refresh will refresh your data. Okay, so whenever, make sure whenever there are any changes in the data, click on refresh so that the changes are reflected in your table. Refresh all, refresh. Suppose I'm making this 0. I have to click on analyze, refresh. So you can see that the values changed. Okay. Similarly, if you want to change the data source, you have to click on change data source, and you want some other data source, means the table you want to create only on these values, you can select that. Or if you have some other table, you can select that. So change data source is used to change the data on which your table is based. Clear is to clear everything, clear filters, clear all. It will be clear, everything will be cleared. Move pivot table means right now my pivot table was on existing sheet, but if you want it to be created on the new sheet, so new sheet will be shown to you. Okay. Now let's learn about slicer and timeline. Pivot table. I'm taking one pivot table, creating one pivot table. This time I will create it in the new sheet. Insert pivot table, and I'm clicking on new worksheet this time. Again, I will have order ID and suppose order date, product ID. You can keep product ID here also, or it's not that presentable, so I'm keeping here only. Okay, so suppose this is my pivot table. Now what is a slicer? Slicer is a very wonderful tool. You can click on analyze, insert slicer. Slicer adds one small graphical tool so that the pivot table changes according to my slicer. Okay. So you can see order ID, you can see quantity, product ID, and unit price. Now, as soon as I click on any one item, you can see it changes accordingly. I chose 10248, so it is showing me the data only for 10248. You clear the filter, you want to see the quantity where it is 15, it will show you only those records where the quantity is 15. I'm clearing it. So it is very useful when you want specific records only. P51, and 900. Okay. Now again here, if you want to select 2 or more items, you can click shift or control. Shift will help you to choose more items. Okay. Press shift and then select shift. So you can select multiple items. Okay. What else is there? In design, you can see in design you have different types of design for your pivot table. The way we have for tables, we can select any one of them. Okay. Do you want banded rows? Can you see it's changing? Banded columns. I'm taking different one. Okay, so some band will appear, means coloring will be there. Similarly, we have subtotal options. Show all subtotals at bottom. It's showing me subtotal at the bottom. I will remove 1 or 2 fields so that it is easier for you. So it is showing me 10248 total subtotal to me. Show all subtotals at the top. So it is shown to me on the top. Grand total is shown at the end. So for rows only or for columns only? Do you want it for the rows or for the columns? So I'm choosing grand total for columns only. So grand total is added at the end. Okay. So subtotals and grand totals are where you want to show your subtotal. This is subtotal and this is grand total. Where do you want to show it? At the top of the row or at the bottom of the row? Next, we have report layout. The different types of layouts are there. So you can choose any one of them. For example, show in outline. So this is how you can see your outline view. This is a tabular view. So you can choose any one. Do you want to repeat all items labels? So everywhere this 10, 248, 250, this will be shown in all the cells. If you don't want that, you can remove that. Do not repeat item labels. So these are report layouts. Do you want blank rows? Insert blank line after each item. So after every item, blank rows will be added. Okay. So this was related to design. Similarly for this slicers also, we have designs option. Select the slicer and again we have different colors of slicers available. You can show two values in the same slicer. Can you see? So to save space, you can use this option. You can have 2, 3, as many as you want. Columns. Okay. So now I'm telling you one more thing. Before that, I will just ask 1 or 2 students if this is clear. Snigdha? Yeah, is it clear to you? So this was the designing part. Now I'm adding one more thing to it, which is called as timeline, which is also very, very useful. With the help of timeline, you can view your date field visually. So let us go to pivot table. Once you click on pivot table, then only analyze and design tabs will be available to you. So make sure your cursor is on the pivot table. So it is on pivot table now. Analyze. Right now we were doing insert slicer. Now we are doing insert timeline. For that you need to click on order date. I'm removing order ID and product ID. I have dates. Now for that you need to click on insert timeline. Once you click on insert timeline, you can see one field only. Click on that, click on OK. Now what is the use of this? With the help of this, you can see various months, years, quarters, days. So let us see years. So for 2018, these are the records. For 2019, these are the records. For 20, these are the records. For 19 and 20, these are the records. For 18 and 19, these are the records. Okay. Similarly, for months, you want to see only particular months. For Jan, Feb, and March, just drag this. I think there are no such records, so I'm choosing March, April, May, June. Okay. Again, you can go to quarters and choose quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, first 3 quarters, 2 and 3 quarters, 3 and 4 quarters, like that. So there are no such records. Same for days. So you can see your data in many ways. So using this slicer and timeline, you can view your data visually. Okay, so let us quickly do the pivot charts, and then we will I'll ask you any doubts, or we can do the assignment. Vanaja, is this clear? Vanaja, is this clear? I think she's not able to hear me. Samihan, clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so let us create one chart on this. So I have one chart in orders table. So let us do that. How to create the chart? I think most of you would be aware of the charts. So simply you have to go to analyze. You can see here insert slicer of all these options and you can click on pivot chart. Pivot chart will give you one column chart, and once the chart is there, you can do whatever you want in whatever manner you want to display it. You can change the color, you can change the type of the chart. So just a minute. So suppose you want to change the type of the chart. How to do that? Simply click on pie, click on OK. You can see pie chart. Now it is overlapping my data, so I want to move this chart to some other sheet, new sheet. Now this is the chart based on my pivot table. So we are not learning how to create charts, but we are learning how to create pivot charts. So we will do once more. Go to pivot table, create your pivot chart. So go here, analyze, pivot chart. I'm selecting this. Okay. Let me do it here. You can create as many charts as you want. You need to format it because everything is not in proportion. So you have to change the font and all. I'm changing the font of this. Okay. You can, now I'm adding one slicer and one timeline here only. So how to add the slicer? Snigdha?
Hi.
Yeah, hi. How to add the slicer?
To go to the dice.
Yeah, analyze. Insert slicer. Click on any options we want. Click on OK. Since it is too large, I'm just making it small. As many slicers as you want. Now, one important thing which I'm telling you, you have your pivot table, you have your pivot chart, you can format it, fill option. You can add a timeline to it. How to add the timeline? Analyze, insert timeline, order date. Okay. Now you have to connect these all things together. Okay, so what you have to do is click here, click on the slicer. Okay, and you have to click on relationships. You will see filter connections. Just click on all of them. so that each slicer is connected to pivot table. Okay. So whenever you select any one of them, this place is little small, so I need to adjust it. Just a minute. I'm removing this. So now everything is linked. As soon as I click on any item, my chart, my pivot table, everything is connected. So it will reflect in the chart as well as my pivot table. Can you see the chart is also changing accordingly? So this was, I did it using analyze filter connections. This is also called as dashboard. Snigdha? Snigdha?
Pradnya?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you understood what we did. Actually, we created a pivot table. We created one chart. We created the slicer. And we finally linked them together. So how did we do? We went to filter connections and clicked on all of them. Okay. Sorry. If you have any doubts, you can unmute.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, ma'am. Mayur here.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask you one. Like, there's a requirement where if the data or any of the field is having any hyperlink, and we have to show the same hyperlink in the pivot table as well. So, how can we take, or is it possible? So,
See,
the
frankly
hyperlink should come
speaking,
as it is within the pivot. Yeah.
I have not seen any such table where hyperlink is present, because hyperlink cannot be calculated. Where here we'll be taking all the values or all
No,
the
we don't
fields
need to
where.
take. No, we don't need to calculate that. It's just that that data is having some hyperlink. So
Okay.
same data should come into the pivot, and it should have the same hyperlink. Means like
Okay.
if suppose this 36100, it is
Hmm.
having some hyperlink of say Facebook.
Okay.
So 1310 sorry 3610 should be there only in pivot table. Or just there should be hyperlink of that for that
Okay. I
value
don't
in
think
pivot as
there would be any problem if we will not be doing any calculations, but I don't think should be any problem.
well.
We can do one thing. After this
Mhm.
session is over, we can try that. Okay.
Okay, certainly.
Fine. Okay.
Because it's
So
actually not happening for me. Let's see.
okay, you can share your file with me. We will try.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay,
you have my
sure.
mail ID. Okay, right now I'm showing you
Yes.
one quickly I'm showing you one file. All of you try to help me. You have already done that, but let us do it assignment wise. I'm sharing that file with you. Can you see this file? Samihan, can you see this file?
Yeah, I can see this file.
Okay, so let us do it quickly. Count the number. See, table is already created. Count the number of items for each order. So let us do it fast. As we don't have much time, we'll be doing here. So let us take this table. I'm removing everything from here. Okay, so who is going to help me with this? Count the number of items for each order. What should we do for this? Samihan? Samihan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, so how to see, you have that file with you, and those who don't have can see this. I want to count the number of items for each order. Count the number of items for each order. So how to do that? First, we will create the pivot table, right? So let us create the table. Insert pivot table. I'm taking the existing sheet. I think it's already there. Pivot table is already there. So how to count the number of items? Anyone tell me? Jitendra? We have quantity. We have order wise.
Count of order is 12.
Yes. Just a minute. Huh? Yeah. So can you see the screen? Excel sheet? Just a minute. I'll just share with you. Yeah. So my pivot table is there. Order ID and number of items. So quantity. Correct? Any doubt in this? So it will show me total items in order wise. Jitendra, is it clear? Is this clear?
Yes, yes, I'm clear with this one.
Okay, now can you help me with the next problem? You have that file with you. It tells product wise unit price. Product wise unit price. So I'm removing this. Product wise unit price. Simple.
Unit.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one is product wise, order wise quantity. Product wise, order wise quantity. So we can have order either in the column section or in the rows. That would be better. Product wise, order wise, unit price. Correct? Sorry, quantity. It's saying quantity. So we have to take quantity. Is this clear, Jitendra?
Yes, yes, I'm clear with this one.
Okay, so now next, if you have the file with you, you can read order wise value. So value we have to use calculated field. So how to do that? Anyone can answer it? Mayur? Mayur?
You
Mayur
just
is
click
there?
on the
Yes. Click on here. Click
yeah.
anywhere. For calculated field, you don't
Yeah.
need to click on a specific position. Go to analyze,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Go to fields, items and sets, right? Go to
Calculate.
calculated field because we want to create some field which is not present in my table. So what should be the name of my field? They have already given. If you see the file which I have shared with you, you will see they want value. Okay, so you can create any field, calculated field here, and you can write your formula, any formula which you want to write. So value, what should be the formula? They have already given. If I share with you this file, just a minute, I will share with you. They are
Unit
saying
price.
unit price into quantity. Okay,
Yeah.
so unit price into quantity, add. Okay, So again, you can change you can remove this quantity because I don't want quantity, and you can change the name. Just double click and change the name from value to some other name because value is already there. Fine. The next one, who will answer? Next is discount. 10% of unit price. 10% of unit price. So how to do that? Samihan? Samihan? Samihan is there? Okay, so I'm doing it for you. Just go to analyze, field items, calculated field, quantity into 10. Add. Okay. So we have done one assignment. What we can do is second assignment you all can do yourself. We have done this once. You have to do it yourself, and we can move to, we have finished with pivot table because we are running out of time. We will be starting with functions. Okay. Any doubt in this you can ask me, or after the class is over. I'm sharing my PPT with you again. So we have learned pivot table fields, layout, calculated fields, calculated item slicer, timeline, pivot charts, and assignment. Now let us go to functions. Okay. What are functions and how comfortable you are with functions? Anyone who has worked with functions? Snigdha?
Pradnya, not much in functions.
Okay, no problem. We'll be doing, see, there are hundreds and thousands of functions. Not thousands, but there are hundreds of functions. So we'll be doing most required functions which we require on daily basis. So what are functions basically? They are predefined formula that performs calculations using specific values in a particular order. Means what? That you have a function is helps us to do a particular thing in which we have to give some input. We have to give some data to it, some cells to it, some values to it, and accordingly to that it gives us the output. So formulas in Excel are useful in performing various mathematical, statistical, and logical operations. So what types of functions are there? There are a number of functions. Text functions are there, logical functions are there, mathematical functions are there. So let us see the list of those functions. These are the different categories. We can see financial functions, logical functions, text functions, date functions, lookup and reference functions, math and trigonometry functions. We cannot cover all of them because it is too vast for us to cover it in 1 hour, but we will be doing most required functions which we require, and I have tried to cover one from each category. So functions which we'll be covering today is sum, min, max, count, average, if function, transpose, substitute, network days, sum if, and VLOOKUP. Do you all want break now? So first of all, the rule for creating a function or writing a function is you have to always start with an equal to sign. Any calculation in Excel, you have to start with an equal to sign. You can see my screen, right? Just a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, so we were doing this sum, min, max, count, average, if function transpose. This was the previous slide. And all functions should start with an equal to sign. And you can see that in this sample function I have taken, you can see that there are three things. So these are called as arguments. So we have to give some arguments and accordingly it will give us some output. So there are three arguments in this. Arguments are separated with a comma. Okay, so if you write it properly, it will give you some output. So let us see. So this part is over, theory part is over. We'll go back to Excel sheet and do all these functions. I'm sharing one Excel file with you. For this, you have to refer this file which I have shared with you. Somebody joined late, I think Vanzana or something like that. So you can see this file. This is a mark sheet and we have serial number, names, marks in various subjects. We have to calculate total, percentage, result and grade. So how many of you are comfortable with small functions like sum, percentage, result? Dipali? Dipali?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you comfortable with small functions like sum, average, count?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So see, we have to refer this file. Those who have not received, you can, I'll show you once again. This is a simple data where we have marks. We have to find the result and grade. That is what we are going to learn using functions. So I have the ready-made file. So what you have to do is, I'm sharing that file with you, Excel file. Okay, can you all see this mark sheet? Dipali, Jitendra?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we have this mark sheet. We need to calculate the total. You must be aware with sum function and all. So let us quickly do the sum functions. Those who are not comfortable with small functions, actually it is a part of basic Excel. But you can ask me after this part is over. So sum function is used to calculate the sum of the numbers, equal to sum, and you have to give the cell range D5 to F5. This is called a cell range D5 to F5. So cell range is given. You don't need to type every time, you simply need to drag this. You can see that for each function it has taken, automatically it has taken the proper cell range, D7 to F7, D11 to F11. So this was total. How to calculate percentage? Anyone? You can unmute and tell me how to calculate percentage if you know. So no one is answering, so let me do it. Percentage, what you have to do, out of 300, G4 divided by 300, enter. It will give you 0.8466, something like that. Simply drag it. This is called as fill handle, a small cursor which you can see at the bottommost corner, thick border. Just drag it. And go to home and click on percentage. You can also increase and decrease decimal using this. This much is clear to you?
Yes,
Now let us do some small
Yes.
functions like sum, which we have already done, count function, equal to count, because these are simple functions. I am doing little fast. They are very simple to use. So simply you need to drag this and press enter. It counts the number of items. We have min function equal to min bracket. Select the cells. Press enter. It will give you minimum marks in English subject. Max. Again select the cells, press enter. You don't need to give the closing bracket also. Equal to average bracket. Select the cells and done. So we have sum, we have count, min, max, average. So these were all very simple functions where we needed only one argument. So what was the argument? Cell range was the argument, E4 to E13. E4 to E13. This was the argument, only single argument was needed. Okay. Now we will do if. You can write it if you want to write, or because this will be shared with this video will be shared with you. Either you write it or you can see the video later on. So I'm starting with if. Now if needs 3 arguments. One is logical test. If the marks are greater than 50%, student should be passed, or otherwise he should be failed. So if H4 greater than 50%, because I'm using percent in my percentage column, I need to write percentage here also. Make sure that you write percentage here. Because I want to type the text, I have to write in double quotes pass, comma, in double quotes fail. Now why we are writing in double quotes? Because it is a text. Whenever you want to write any text in the formula, then you have to write it in double quotes. So if requires 3 arguments, one is condition or test, this is the condition, comma. If this is true, then what? Pass. If this is false, then fail. You cannot give 1 argument, or you cannot give 2 arguments or 4 arguments. This function requires 3 arguments. So let us do it. Let us ask some students. Samihan is there. Samihan, can you tell me what would be the formula?
It will be if.
Equal to if.
Then the percentage.
Percentage.
Greater than 50.
50%, comma,
50%.
pass, comma, fail. Correct. Now this was the simple if formula. I'm just dragging it. There are 2 students who are failed. Now let me tell you about the nested if, that is if within an if. For that we have to refer to this file. I'm sharing this file with you, which you already have with you. See, for grades, if you see this, greater than 75 A grade, between 65-75 B grade, between 55-65 C grade, 50 and 55 D grade, and less than 50 not applicable because he is failed. So let us do that using nested if or if within an if, multiple if we are using. So let us write it equal to if. You can write it or type it if you want. If this cell is greater than equal to 75%, comma, I think it is distinction, comma, if that cell, always start with an upper limit, never start from the lower limit. So if the student gets less than 75, it will go to the if part. So I am starting a new if here. For else, I am starting a new if, because if the condition is false, it will go to the next if. H4 is greater than equal to 65%, then A grade. comma. Again, I'm starting a new if. H4 is greater than equal to 55% B grade. Again, I'm starting one new if. For false part, I'm taking a new if. H4 is greater than equal to 50%. Then C grade. Otherwise, not applicable. All this you have to write in the result. You have to write in double quotes because this is text. If there is any calculation, you don't need to write it in double quotes. Simply you have to calculate. So make sure you have to write as many closing brackets as there are opening brackets. So you can see when I close it, the colored bracket will be highlighted. Green is highlighted, purple is highlighted, red is highlighted, and black is highlighted. Distinction. So those who want to write it or understand it, or if you have any question, you can ask. If greater than equal to 75 distinction, greater than equal to 65 A grade, 55 B grade, 50 C grade, otherwise not applicable. For the last one, you don't need to give any if, you simply need to write the false thing. That's it. Now you have to simply drag it. So some students, maybe my mark sheet has the marks where everyone is getting good marks. So let me reduce the marks for some students. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? You can unmute and answer me.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's go back to the next function. So this was related to if. I think transpose most of you would be knowing. I'm telling you how to do transpose. Transpose function is used to convert the rows to columns and columns to rows. Most of you would be doing it using copy paste or paste link option. So let me do it for you. What you have to do is, this function is also important. So what you have to do is select the cells, go to copy, click, go to paste. Those who are writing it, you can write the steps. Go to paste special, go to transpose and click on OK. So you can see month Jan, Feb, March have become row, and whatever was there in the columns have become row, and whatever was there in the rows or columns have become rows. Oh, and vice versa, sorry. Okay, so now there is one more method. Now what happens is, if I change the cells, it doesn't reflect here. So to do that, we need to use one more function called transpose function. So how to do it using transpose function? Simply select your cells, press Ctrl C or copy. Select the cells which you want to be rows. For rows you have to take columns. For columns you have to take rows. For example, there are 2 columns, so you have to take, instead of that you have to take 2 rows, and for 4 rows you have to take 2 columns. Okay, so there are 2 columns, so I have taken 2 rows, and there are 4 rows, I have taken 4 columns. So you have to select it according to your table in reverse order, and then you have to type transpose function. Can you all see my screen? Transpose,
Yeah.
bracket, you have to select the table and press Ctrl Shift and enter. You have to press Ctrl Shift and enter, otherwise it will not work. Now what is the use of this? If you change any value, it will be reflected in your table. This is using transpose function. So those who are writing it can write it, or you can see this video again. What you have to do is, I will tell you once more, select the cells, go to formula bar, type transpose, bracket, select the cells which you want to reverse, press, close this transpose, Control Shift Enter. You can see that in the formula bar it is showing me curly braces at the beginning and end. Okay. So the difference between this and this is the changes are reflected in transpose function. So this function is over. Let us do directly some VLOOKUP, because that is more important for us. And we will, if the time is there, we can do one or two more functions. So let us go to VLOOKUP. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Snigdha? Snigdha, can you see
Yes.
the screen? Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
we are learning VLOOKUP. Most of you would be using it. There are many ways to do it, but I don't know how many of you have worked on it, but this is very useful function. It would be a revision for those who have already done this, and for the new ones, it will be easier to understand. So this is my table where we have item ID, item, quantity, cost, and discount. Okay. Now, if there are, this is all for the people who have to handle large amount of data, but because it is very difficult to teach while teaching. It is difficult to handle such a large amount of data. So that's why I've taken a small sample. So we have item ID, item, quantity, cost, and discount. So show the cost of item number 1. How to do that? So using VLOOKUP, we can do that. How to do that? Cost of item number 1. So VLOOKUP function is very useful when you are dealing with many columns and many rows. So VLOOKUP bracket. Sorry, there is a formula typing mistake. You will see at the bottom, you will see a tool tip which shows you what you need to enter. Lookup value. Lookup value is 1001, I001. So I have selected that. Table array is my complete table. Select the table, comma, column index. Because you want the cost of item, you need to tell the number of columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You will see 4. And for whether you want approximate match or exact match, I want exact match, so I will use false. So it gives me 800. This is the cost of item number I001. Okay, next is show the quantity of item I003. So anyone wants to help me? Vanaja, would you like to help? Vanaja is there? Mayur? Mayur is there? Dipali? Dipali is there?
Yes, ma'am.
So would you like to help me?
So select
I want to show the quantity of item I003. So we look up
select the column.
bracket, lookup value is I003, right? So I'm selecting I003, comma. Table array is the whole table. So I'm selecting the whole table here, comma. Column index. Quantity is the third column, 1, 2, 3. 3, comma, false. Right. Now next is little different. If you are comfortable with VLOOKUP, those who are doing VLOOKUP again and again can tell me. Show the discount on item I001. What would be the function? You can unmute and answer me. Show the discount on item I001. So I want the answer as 80. How to do that? Any
Is
idea?
equal to VLOOKUP.
Yeah, we will do VLOOKUP equal to VLOOKUP.
Item
Item is, I'm selecting from
I0.
the table itself. Comma, full table, table array.
Yeah.
Sorry. Comma,
Range.
column index. It is asking me
Yeah.
column index. So I want 80 as the answer. So what I need to do? I need to write a formula. So
One,
what
two.
I will do, first I need to finish this formula which I am writing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will write 4 here, comma, false. And I need to multiply it with the 5th column so that I get 80. So instead of 4, I will have 5 here, because it will give me this VLOOKUP. The second VLOOKUP will give me 0.10. And this will give me 800. So this gives me 80. So I have used 2 VLOOKUPs to solve this. Is this clear to everyone? If you see the table, 10% of 800 is 80. So that's why we have used this. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt? Should we continue with the next part? Now, this is little more difficult than the previous ones. Here, if the quantity is less than 100, then show reorder level, else show sufficient amount. Means if the quantity is less, I want to show this. If the quantity is okay, then I want to show this. So for that, what I need to do? I need to give if in this. So just see this VLOOKUP. A5, what is A5? 1004. 1004 range 3. What we have to check? Quantity we have to check. So that's why we are giving quantity. 3 false. So this part is We have already learned. Only thing is now we have to put this in if, which we have done previously in the previous exercise. If this is less than 100, reorder level, otherwise sufficient. So if this value is less than 100, then reorder level, else sufficient stock. So we will do this once more. Let us all do it together. Equal to if bracket VLOOKUP. I'm taking I001 as the reference point, lookup value. Table array is whole table. Always this will be the whole table. Comma, column index, because my quantity is in the third column, 1, 2, 3. I will write 3 here. And I want false. It will give me some value from the quantity. If that quantity is greater than 100, greater than equal to 100, comma, if requires 3 arguments. Okay. So if this is greater than equal to 100, I have to write sufficient amount. Comma, otherwise I have to write something. I am writing a reorder level, means you should order more quantity. Now if closes, VLOOKUP closes. Just a minute, I'll just, there is a small mistake which I need to check. Okay, so it's giving me correct. Yeah, you can copy this if you want. So we have used the combination of if and VLOOKUP, right? Let us do, if you want to write it, all of you please write it. Let us do substitute network days and SUMIF. After that, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. And then madam wants to talk to you for 5 minutes. Substitute function. This is the next function, very simple function to use. Equal to substitute, what arguments it requires? Text, old text, new text, and which instance of that text you want to change. Means it substitutes one text with the other. For example, we have mango, apple, mango, and I say equal to substitute. I'm taking one text for formula so that each category is touched. Substitute. Text is this, comma, old text. What is the old text? Mango. Comma, what is the new text? Suppose orange. That's it. It gives me orange. In place of mango, it gives me orange. If you want to change a particular instance, so you will give substitute. You can press tab to finish the, you don't need to write the whole function. You just press tab, text, this, comma, old text, mango, change it with apple, comma, you can give the instance number, that is 2. So in this case, not both, but only one instance that was at the end, means second instance. First instance was this, second instance was this. So second instance is changed. So we have different functions like len function, mid function, which we cannot do today. Okay, but there, if you know how to work with substitute, you can learn all of them yourself also. Fine. Mayur, is this clear? Mayur, is this clear? Okay, so let us go to the next function, network days, and we have just 2 functions remaining. After that, madam wants to talk to you. Just 2 functions, network days. Okay, so suppose we have start date and end date, and I want the difference between the two. I simply need to give equal to network days, and I need to give start date and end date. Start date is this, suppose, comma, end date. It gives me 10. What if there are any holidays? You can include that holiday here. It gives you 9. If you have 2 or more holidays, you simply write all the holidays list here, okay, and press colon and give the list here. So network days A5, A6, A7 to A8. Start date, end date, comma, range of holidays. Simple, very simple. Once you start using functions, you can write any function with the help of, there is one Excel help. You can take the help of that. It's very useful. So network days is very simple. So let us go to the last function, that is SUMIF function. SUMIF function is also very important. You require it. You want to, suppose there is this table where we have employee ID, city, sales. You don't want to find the sum of all of them. Some will give you the sum of all of them, but you want the sum of only the cities where it is Delhi or Chennai or Mumbai. So for that, SUMIF can be used. Equal to SUMIF bracket range. You have to select this range, comma, what is the condition there? Suppose Delhi, comma, what is the sum range? This is my sum range. Enter. So it gives me 1620. Let us do it once more. Equal to if, sorry, equal to SUMIF bracket range, comma, you have to remember what range is, Mumbai, comma, what is the sum range? Bracket, enter. This is the SUMIF function. Similarly, we have COUNTIF function. You can see at the bottom, I have many functions, which is very difficult to cover all of them. But if you join our course, you can learn all of them. This is the Excel sheet which I have made. What functions we have to cover. We have now NDIF. We have OR, NOT, upper, concatenate, trim. All these functions cannot be taught in 1 hour. It requires at least 2 hours. Similarly, pivot functions, pivot tables cannot be taught in 1 hour. Actually, it requires 2 or more sessions of 2 hours each. Okay. So if you have any doubts, now you can unmute and share your doubts, or if you want to share, ask me anything, you can ask me. Hello, everyone. You can unmute and ask me any doubts.
No, we don't have a doubt for me.
Yes.
Yeah. But anything, definitely we will get in. I will get in touch with you.
Okay. What's your name, please?
My name is Jitendra.
Okay, Jitendra. Thank you. What you can do is, if you have any doubt, we have WhatsApp group, and if you are interested in this course, we have our 22 hours of course. which you can join online. Currently also I am handling one batch of Excel. So online he's learning from me. So it can be a one-to-one basis, or depending on your time, whenever you are free. It's a 20-hour course, and if you require any more knowledge about this course, anything more, you can talk to ma'am. Okay. So
Yeah,
thank you
sure.
all. This session is over. You can give your feedback and share whatever doubts you have with me on WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks
Yes.
for this session as well.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yes,
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
yes, thank you. Thank you, all of you. Good afternoon. Thank you, Pradnya ma'am, for this session, wonderful
Thank you, ma'am.
webinar, also giving your precious time. I would like to thank you to all the participants. Hope you enjoyed the webinar. If you are interested for entire advanced Excel training program, let us know. Ma'am is very excellent in advanced Excel, VB macros, PPT, MIS as well as MS Access too. So be in touch with us. Stay happy, stay home, and stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.